I didn't get it.
I'm trying to know that what did you do in these 40 minutes? Did you utilize the entire 40 minutes to write the essay?
Yes, I have utilized the entire 40 minutes. Like I said, first I
You
try to
have these
understand.
40 minutes.
Mhm.
Okay. You have utilized the entire 40 minutes to write the essay, right?
Yeah, see,
What
I
was
have
your approach?
spent it
Yeah.
around, yeah, I see first 5 to 10 minutes, I have spent it around, to jot down the points, like what should I have to include. Okay. I was just, building a skeleton, like how should it look like? What should be the first para? Then, the subsequent paragraph, what information I have to include. Okay. I was just making a note. Okay. And then I have started, writing the essay. Once it is done, I was, just cross checking, like whatever the points I have jotted down, is it matching with that or not? Like, did I included everything, like what, the sort of questions is being asked? And does my essay, fully satisfy with the kind of, questions have been, mentioned, or what, the topic is given. So that is how, my approach was.
Okay. Fine. So this is exactly how, you need to segregate your 40 minutes of time. So the first 5 to 7 minutes has to be spent on planning
Mhm.
and micro planning.
Shall I make notes? Because
Okay.
I
No,
have
no,
to
I'll
refer
be
this. Or
sharing. I'll be sharing
please
the
share, na?
whiteboards. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So in my sessions, you just have to focus on the content of the session, the way it is being taught. That's all.
Okay.
Rest all will be sent to you. Okay.
Okay,
Then
thanks.
you have 25 to 30 minutes for
Mm-hmm.
writing the main essay. Okay. The next 3 to 4 minutes is basically for proof reading and revising. Am I clear?
Okay.
Each of these steps are equally important, which means using the first 5 to 7 minutes on planning and micro planning, the next 25 to 30 minutes on writing the main essay, the last 3 to 4 minutes for proofreading and revising are equally important. So if your planning and your micro planning is not good enough, your essay will not be good enough. And that's how it is. So you have to understand that even before you start writing the main essay, you have to do the planning and the micro planning. And when I say planning and micro planning not in your mind, planning and micro planning on pen and paper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we are doing it now. Okay. So let us look at the question now and understand that, how exactly to work on the planning and the micro planning. Okay. This is my question: plastic bags, plastic bottles, and plastic packaging. So there's a problem in the question. The question says that too much of, plastic waste can pose a serious threat to the environment or can cause irreversible damage to the environment. And then the first question, or the first task question, is asking you to talk about the adverse effects, the serious consequences. And the next question basically is asking you about the solution. What could be the measures to go about it? So when we say planning first has to be done of the main points. Main
Mm-hmm.
points as in, planning the damage, planning the different points under adverse consequences, planning the different points under your solution. Correct?
Correct.
So, yeah. Okay, so let us get started with planning. Planning of effects, which is the first part, first question. Okay, so
Correct.
what could be the first effect of, throwing too much of plastic material or too much of plastic waste into the environment? What would be the first adverse consequence?
First, consequence like effects.
Reducing fertility could be one. Reducing
Correct.
fertility, reducing fertility of soil. Okay, fine. What could be the next effect?
It damages marine, this one species not only does, and as well as affect the other animals as well.
Yeah, so damages the plant and animal species, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So this is planning of the effects, right? Now that we are done with planning of the effects, we basically have to move on to the micro planning. What is micro planning? Micro planning is basically building up on each point, building up on this point, building up on this point. Okay. Why? Because the first marking criteria in your Ielts is task achievement and task response. Task response we are already doing. The task is asking you for the effects. The task is asking you for the solution. So we are already working on that. Task achievement is that for every, just give me a moment. Yeah. So task achievement is wherein, you are presenting the point, you are extending, and you are giving an evidence. 1, 2, 3. This whole consists of 1 point. Here, the first effect. The second effect also has to be, done in this way. So you have to present the effect, extend it, and then give an evidence. When we say presenting, it is what is the effect. When we say extending, it is why and how. So let us do the micro planning of the first point. So micro planning, yeah, of the first point. So what is our first effect? Our first effect is reducing the fertility, right?
Correct.
So reducing the fertility of soil. Okay, moving on to the explanation. Now, when we say explanation, you have to mention how and why the fertility of the soil is reduced. So how and why do you think the fertility of the soil is reducing? What happens, when you throw plastic material, or when, you are disposing the plastic waste into the environment or into the soil? Why is it that the fertility of the soil is reducing?
Because this what do you call, the plastic material contains harmful chemicals. Okay, when they get released, okay, they can cause immediate effect in the soil or in the water.
Okay, so basically one point is that the materials such as carbon and all that, right, are harmful, correct? And at the same time, they take a lot of time to decompose actually. So they are basically non-biodegradable and take a long time, to decompose. So we must have seen in different channels like Animal Planet and National Geography that how the birds, the animal species, they are kind of surviving on all these plastics, right? They are taking in soil, and in that soil there's plastic bottle, there are plastic bottle remains, batteries, etc. And that is posing a serious threat to their health. Correct?
Correct.
This is one thing.
Correct.
Second thing, so what happens? So definitely, this would reduce the fertility of the soil. And that's when the crop reduces. And there would be starvation, there could be starvation, right? And then, you have to depend on other nations for food. Now, this could be pricey. This could be something, which is pricey, expensive. So this is the chain of events when we talk about the effect. So the topic sentence for the effect, reducing the fertility, and then the explanation how this the fertility is reduced and what exactly happens. If you want, you can give an evidence for this point, or if you want, you can give an evidence for the next point. If you have more than one point, there is no hard and fast rule that you have to give an evidence for all the points. Am I clear? Right? Got it.
Yes,
So this micro planning and planning of every point that you are writing is something which is absolutely critical in gaining good scores in your IELTS writing task too. And most of you fail to do this, which is why you land up or you get stuck with a very